Hi there, YouTubers. This is my 2020 pandemic numismatic wish list, right after this. Alright, so this is a list of items that I've kind of thought about, tokens, coins, metals, that I'd really like to add to my collection. I've just been sitting around here thinking about what I would like to buy. Haven't purchased any of these, but you'll notice that some of them are fairly cheap, some are fairly expensive. This is my top 10. It's in no particular order. There might be other items that I've thought about that I kind of missed, but let's start first with some honorable mentions. So this list doesn't include any Oregon trade tokens, because those would kind of be at the top of my list. Towns that I don't have. I could make a list of 100 and still not cover every town that I don't have, so we won't go through that. I didn't put St. Gaudens $20 gold double eagle on here. I would really like to own one, but it's probably just a little outside of what I can afford at the moment. Of course, another one is Oregon Territorial gold beaver coin. You know, I don't have the 50 grand to spend on one of those, however much I could find one of those for. Columbia and Washington medal, that's another one I'd really like to have, but I just don't have that many thousands. And any Indian peace medals, I think that would be really interesting to collect, but again, just a little outside of what I have money for today. So let's start with number 10, and this one is a pretty easy one to get. Number 10 is a 1943 steel cent graded MS 66 or better. I saw one of these on another channel recently, and I was like, well, I'm gonna get myself one of these. And then didn't really make it to any shows, and pandemic happened. It would be really nice to have one in this kind of condition. You can find them MS 66, 67, even 68, but the price really jumps from a 67 to a 68. I think it would be a nice addition to my collection. I usually don't like graded coins, but this is where I would pay to have that. So the next one would be a Roman silver denarius, and I would prefer that it be one of the 12 Caesars. I think that a collection of the 12 Caesars is kind of one of those, you know, things that if you like ancients at all, you would strive towards. So here I have pictured Nero, which, I mean, we all know Nero and his fiddling while Rome burned. Tiberius, and this is considered the tribute penny right here, where Jesus said, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and give unto God what is God's. And the last one is Otho, and he was, I think he was only the Caesar for like 3 months before another general came in to depose him, and he committed suicide. I would like to have one of these. I'm saying just one because I think that you start a collection with one. So I'd probably buy one of the lower end ones and then work my way up to one like Tiberius. So the next would be the Libertas Americana restrike. So pictured here is a bronze restrike. This is what I would really be looking for, but you also find them in silver and gold. Silver ones, you can find them in 1 ounce and 1 kilo. And I just think they're a really lovely metal. Of course, I'd love to have an original, but that's several thousand. It would depend on what I could find, but one of these 1980s, you know, restrikes here would be perfectly fine with me. You can find them usually around like $300, something like that. It would be nice to own. So next would be a Stone Mountain Memorial. So this is a commemorative $50. This one here isn't in great condition, but I just found one that I like the toning of online for a picture. Of course, I come from a family where 3 of my grandparents were from the South, and I remember once learning about the Civil War in school, and I asked my grandpa, who was from South Carolina, and I was like, why do we celebrate the likes of Robert E. Lee? He looked at me and he said, "What side of the war do you think you were on?" Made me realize that, there were two sides to the war, and all of those Confederates still lived in the United States, and, well, I was the descendant of many of them. And while I don't necessarily think that we should celebrate the Confederacy, little mementos like this I don't think hurt too bad. The next coin that I have on here is an anti-slavery halfpenny. So this is a Condor token. It's from the United Kingdom, 1790s. You can watch my video on Condor tokens. This one is pretty popular, for its motto, "Am I not a man and a brother?" Has the kneeling slave praying to God. There's a Hard Times token a lot like this that was based on this one. It's a woman that says, "Am I not a woman and a sister?" And they're very iconic, part of the abolitionist movement at the time, even though it would be another, at least for the United States, 75 years before the end of slavery. I think that these are great tokens to have to remember your history. The next item is the cheapest item on the list. This is a 1967 Soviet 1 ruble. There's another YouTuber I watched named Bald and Bankrupt. He likes to travel to former Soviet republics, and I think that's, much like a lot of people my age, the Soviet Union was kind of this unknown place. It was the evil enemy. So you kind of have this fascination with things that are Soviet. So when he goes to these places, he's always talking about the Soviet, items that are left behind. And to me, you can't get more Soviet than this coin right here. You can find them for less than like $10 on eBay. But honestly, I think if you find one at a show, you're probably looking at $2 to $3, depending on the condition. So yeah, why don't I own one yet? Just that I don't want to overpay for one on eBay, that's all. So the next item is an Athens Tetradrachm. So obviously you'll recognize the owl on the back of this one. This coin has Athena on one side and then her owl of wisdom on the other. And it's just kind of an iconic coin. It's ancient Greek, from 440 to 404 BC. And I think that's, you can pick these up for $700-800. I think it would be a nice addition to anyone's collection. I don't think anyone would turn one down. The next coin is a 1923 German Westphalia 1 trillion marks. So this is the largest denomination coin ever minted. You'll notice it says 1 billion marks on the reverse there under the horse, but a billion in German equals a trillion in English. So this was 1 trillion marks just after, the Great War, World War I. They went through a period of hyperinflation, and much like the $100 trillion note from Zimbabwe, this coin was the final step in hyperinflation in Germany after the war. And next we would have a US seeded $1 coin. So of all the types that I own, I do not have a seeded dollar. So I think that would be the next logical coin. I have a trade dollar, obviously have a Morgan dollar and peace dollar. So the seeded $1 is kind of the last type coin I think that would really give me a, basic type set of United States silver coins at least. And last but not least is a US $2.50 gold piece, specifically the Indian design. I would prefer a 1913 for personal reasons, though that is somewhat of a key date for these. I've looked at many over the years, but just have never pulled the trigger, but I think that this will probably be one of the first coins that I really look at purchasing after all this is said and done. I think I'm just going to take some of my stimulus money and stimulate the economy by buying one of these. I really love this coin. It's in-use design. It's just really iconic. While a lot of people think like the St. Gaudens is the most beautiful coin, this one is right up there for me. I think that this is really a work of art. So I'd like to have one of these. And you know, it's just in that range where I can't afford one if I want one. So I think this is going to be the first coin that I look to buy. So what did you think of my list? What's on your purchase list for when you can get out and buy again at shows? Or maybe you're looking at something on eBay right now, but you don't want to pull the trigger until things are a little bit better. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.